Welcome to IO Radio with your host, Adam Smith and Sal Bayat.
Hey, guys.
So, this is like an impromptu meeting. We're hanging out on a Monday evening.
Happy Monday, everyone.
Happy Monday, yeah. And so there's been some stuff that's happened, and I've been out of town for a week or more. And, oh, you know what? I need to put my cans on, right? Can you guys hear all that
Yeah.
noise? Let me do
Yeah,
that real
well, we
quick.
can hear that chair creaking.
Air and the air conditioning. How's that? Is that better?
Yeah, so you texted me while you were on vacation, and you said there was something happening with the mods and the Reddit admins for Buttcoin.
Mm-hmm.
Can you fill us in on that?
All right, so I'm a moderator for the Reddit community Buttcoin, which most people that are probably listening to this, the 3-4 that are, will know what I'm talking about. But it's the largest crypto critical subreddit on Reddit. Over 160,000 users, actual real users, not bots. And we've I'm not a spokesperson for this community. I'm just one of a number of people that have continued to build it up, and I'm not claiming to speak for them, but I've been a pretty active member for the last several years, one of the more active members. And I'm one of these people where, a lot of moderators, they have a moderator account that does the moderator duties, and then they may interact with the community using another account. I don't do that. I'm kind of pretty much what you see is what you get. I get in there and I talk with people and debate with people as a regular user, and I also act as a moderator.
You're in the trenches every day.
Yeah, I'm in the trenches and I enjoy it. In fact, the funny part is, I was invited to be a moderator of this community because I became so active and so supportive. So they extended it to me, and I just accepted it. And I feel privileged to have that responsibility in the community, and I take it seriously. But I can't say that I can define what the community is about or that I control the community. All I can speak for is myself. And I have my own priorities about crypto and why I'm critical of it and stuff like that. And I don't assume everybody else in the community has the same priorities. But anyway,
so you're not purely in it for the memes.
No, and I'm not butthurt that I didn't make a whole lot of money and all that kind of stuff. And I don't think my mentality necessarily jives with the majority. I think there's a lot of people that are anti-crypto for a wide variety of reasons. Mine is really more about empathy and about wanting to help people. I don't always assume everybody else is. Some people just like, hey, those people are stupid, let's make fun of them. But we do have a big contingent of people that want to help and educate other people. And I think I have been one of those forces in the community to steer our Buttcoin into an area that's centered around empathy, where we're not just mocking these people. We really do want to educate and help them. And we recognize that this is a destructive social force. At least that's my excuse.
All right. So what's been happening then?
So we've had, obviously, crypto has quite a lot of resources behind it. There's some people that are making massive amounts of money, and there's a lot of other people that are losing massive amounts of money, because that's the only way crypto works. Crypto is a zero or negative sum game. So for anybody to make $100 in crypto, somebody has to lose $100. Now, they don't know they've lost it yet because they've been told, keep holding, you'll make your money back. But that's the way the market works.
So you are critical of these subreddits, and in many cases, people as part of the Buttcoin community, they are linking to things that people in pro crypto communities have posted, and they're calling attention to, let's say, the flaws in the argument, or they're making fun of people potentially.
That's true. I'm eating pizza while I talk to you, by the way.
Pizza. Okay, perfect. Mm-hmm. The pizza eating podcast. Excellent. So
yeah, the community makes fun of crypto people, but more importantly, we call attention to the irrationality and the inconsistencies and the irony of a lot of crypto narratives. That's what we do. We're like our science makes fun of flat earthers, or maybe they don't. I don't know, but Reddit is a very diverse array of communities, right? And part of what makes Reddit great is that one community can stand in defiance to another community, and they all peacefully coexist. Although what we found is in some cases that's not really the case. The pro crypto people really have a problem with our existence because we shine light into the little dark crevices where they spread their propaganda. And now it's coming back to haunt us. We're actually getting in trouble. We're getting sanctioned because of it.
So what you're saying is, if your goal is to win in a zero or negative sum game, you need other suckers to come into this game. You need to buy my bags. I'm not going to make any money off of selling these coins unless I can find a greater fool. And Buttcoin, unfortunately, potentially affects that process.
Right. It's just like any MLM. If you're selling Herbalife or Amway or, that kind of stuff, anybody who posts facts and details about, like, for example, the percentage of people that are in those MLMs and how likely it is for them to see a return on their profit, obviously the mothership doesn't want people to know about that.
Yeah.
And we're the mothership that educates people relating to cryptocurrency, and they can't debate with us using facts, logic, reason, and evidence. So what they're resorting to now is reporting us as harassers. We are now, if we make reference to any post or any comment in their community, they're claiming that is harassment. And we've been punished for it now. So we've run into a situation where we have literally been censored without actually doing anything wrong. Just because these people have complained and they're calling it interference. Now I could show you actual discussions that I've had with the admins about this, but I don't want to exacerbate the problem, because the objective for us is to remain in this community and continue to fight for logic, reason, and evidence. So I don't want to do anything that's going to jeopardize the community, and I'm only speaking for myself. So if I do something wrong, then you take action against me, but don't take action against the community, because it's been around for a long time and there's other people.
So you're saying that as a result of pro crypto subreddits complaining about Buttcoin, Buttcoin has been sanctioned or censored.
Right.
What exactly has happened?
All right, let me show you guys. We'll pull up a link of a typical, and this is my login. I'm using old Reddit. So you'll see we post things that are critical of Reddit. So the SEC accuses Binance of mishandling funds and lying to regulators, from the obviously unreliable source of the New York Times there. So if I try to post something that says, hello, I just saw this cute puppy in our wholesome memes. What do you think of it? All right, so that's just a regular kind of comment, right? I'm referencing another subreddit here. It could be an actual post, or it could be an entire subreddit. If I hit save, what is going to happen with the normal person? It may not be relevant to the subreddit, but it should still be saved, right? Well, look what happens here. Linking to subreddits is not allowed. So our entire community has been sanctioned.
Now, what about if I am in a discussion with somebody who, let's say, is pro crypto, they're disputing something that I've said, and I want to say, well, actually, I know someone, I know American Scream, and he really knows the subject well, and I want to reference you in a post. Can I link to you as a user?
No, I don't know if you can link to me. You might be able to link to me as a user.
Try to link to me in this post. So change /artist/you /sal_bad. Yeah, there we go.
You're a cute puppy.
Damn straight. Linking
Oh
to users is
shit!
not allowed.
Wow.
So we can't even link to each other to reference. Like there's a I
Now
really
that's
want to.
something new. I did not even know that. I did not
No,
even
that's not.
try
It's
that.
not new. It's any internal Reddit link has been disabled. So
Well, look at this. I can also do, but I can link Buttcoin.
yes. So Buttcoin is going
Right.
to be our Buttcoin, not you Buttcoin.
Right.
Though.
So if I link that,
Hold on. It has to be
oh,
our.
not you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can post that, right?
Yeah.
So that's messed up. Now here's the problem with this, right? We have not been told we've done anything specifically wrong. Nothing. They can't point to a single example, and I could show you the correspondence that I've had and other moderators have had with the admins of Reddit, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to risk any further what they call interference or harassment.
And
but
what have they said? What evidence have they provided to eliminate this functionality? What have they actually said?
This happened about 3 months ago where certain pro-crypto subreddits were complaining that we were harassing them. And basically what some users were doing was they would link to something that was posted in one of the subreddits and they would make fun of them, or they would say, look at, this person did this. That's what we would do. We would kind of go, that's not the smart thing to do to as a cautionary tale to other people. We weren't attacking anybody or harassing anybody personally. We were at least, and I wasn't doing it, right? Specific certain people would post it, and we were told, okay, look, you can't make reference to people individually because if they complain, they could consider that harassment. So I'm like, okay, all right, so we won't do that. I told them, all right, if we actually added a rule to our auto mod that would remove any reference to certain pro-crypto subreddits and tell them you can't reference them without obscuring people's personal information because we don't want to be construed as being harassers, right? But they just impose this thing on us without any notice, without any specific example of a transgression. So now we cannot link to any on Reddit post that's not in our own subreddit.
So they've just said there have been multiple complaints from multiple subreddits,
but wouldn't tell us
provided who
they are. I mean, we know what the subreddits are. We know there's 2 subreddits that complain about us.
Why is this a big deal? Like, big deal. So what? So they've removed the ability to link to other subreddits. You guys were doing things in Buttcoin that are considered harassment in many other communities. It's not allowed. And, what's the big deal? Why are you making such a fuss about this?
Well, I don't know. The problem with harassment is if somebody complains and says, I've been harassed, anybody can say that, but who's responsible for determining whether it's legitimate harassment or it's like fact checking? What you'll find with what we've been doing, it's been more like fact checking and calling people out for making false statements. So
it's not brigading.
That's what we do, right? We're not brigading because the pro crypto subreddits have zero tolerance for the critical crypto subreddits. So if anybody posts in those pro crypto subreddits and makes any kind of statement that's not part of their narrative, they'll look up the post history and ban them immediately, calling them trolls. And that's their prerogative to do that. We will do the same thing in Buttcoin if somebody posts just a bunch of shallow crypto talking points and doesn't stick around to defend them with more substantive information. We'll be like, okay, you're just spamming, you're gone.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that. But one of the things we haven't done is we've just recognized we have a rivalry between our communities. But I've not gone over there and reported all of their activity as being harassing. Them disagreeing with us, I don't consider to be harassment. But that is now what's happened here. Us fact-checking them, calling out their lies, is now considered harassment. And of course, Reddit doesn't seem to want to differentiate or qualify the quality of these complaints. It's just if those people are complaining more, then we're the bad guys. And so that's kind of what's happened with us.
And would you say that the inability to link to other resources on Reddit makes it more difficult to interact with the Buttcoin community, or that it makes it more difficult to respond to pro crypto propaganda?
There's no doubt. I mean, our now when we comment on things, we provide citations. We don't just barf out our opinion of, Bitcoin is a Ponzi. We'll provide a link to a detailed story, and I've got links where that I wouldn't just say something. I would say, here's my evidence for this. But now I can't do it because it's linked onto another crypto, so another subreddit. So this is one of those problems where this restriction has hurt us from using Reddit in the manner that it was meant to be used.
Yeah, because Reddit's all about linking stuff.
Right. And sending traffic back and forth from one subreddit to another. And let's face it, probably a significant percentage of all Reddit traffic is one subreddit commenting about something going on in another subreddit. So, people are going to complain all the time and they react to it. Our biggest, what we're guilty of? We're guilty of being mature adults and recognizing that the admins have a lot of work to do. So we're not going to make things worse for them. We are not going to send the whiny little bitches from and crypto over to them to deal with. We're just going to ignore them, let them rant and rave. But those little whiny bitches have been ranting and raving about us. So now they've sanctioned us. And that's kind of the situation that we're in.
Yeah.
And,
so it makes
it's really unfortunate because I love Reddit. I think it's one of the most open communities of them all, but it is owned by a big corporation and they are planning an IPO, as you can see. And so they're probably trying, as you said, to boost their revenue. So they're imposing restrictions, updating their APIs so they can charge more money so they can try to get more revenue before they do this IPO, setting everything up so that the executives can cash out, and they're screwing over the users.
Yeah, so they're definitely, it seems like they're making changes that aren't going to benefit them or benefit the platform long term. They're potentially removing a lot of utility. So whether you use Apollo or any of these other browsers or viewers to use to view and interact with Reddit, it looks like that functionality might go away unless there's a big change. So there's actually a big protest that's going to be going on with subreddits going dark, and I can't recall what days that's going to be. But I was reading one article, and I think the gentleman who runs the Apollo application, he was saying Reddit wanted $12,000 for 50 million API requests. And that works out to about, I think, 4,000 API requests per dollar, which seems extremely expensive. And he was saying it would cost him $20 million to run his business. So there's no way he can afford that. But short-term gain on revenue right before an IPO, maybe is the financially sensible thing to do. I'm not sure it's sensible long-term for the platform.
Corporations are corporations. All they care about is making money. And we as users, this is an issue that we have to kind of deal with. It's affecting all the social media apps. You look at what's happening with Twitter, and Elon Musk has taken it over, and he's just kind of accelerated probably the natural pattern and path that it was on anyway. Well, maybe not, because he's running its profitability into the ground.
Yeah, it wasn't profitable before. It's gotten even worse. So, I mean, we can say, I think it's fair to say, I think any reasonable person would say, okay, Reddit is making these API changes because they want to increase the revenue. That's, I think, pretty obvious thing. But why do you think they censored Buttcoin? I mean, you're saying it's because certain mods or certain subreddits complained, is that all there is? Do you think it's possible that there's also a profitability motive as well, where those subreddits generate a lot more revenue for Reddit, and so they're going to be listened to? Or is it just what you said? Is it just the squeaky wheel gets the grease?
Well, we know that Reddit is kind of in bed with crypto, right? So one of the big problems is we are a crypto critical subreddit, and you would think an emerging technology that's supposed to change the world and make everything better could certainly deal with some criticism, right? And skepticism. That isn't the case with crypto. With crypto, it's really, really important for them to not have anybody argue with them about their narrative.
Well, I think it was totally fine when there was a bull run and there were more and more greater fools every day. I think now that there's a crypto, I won't even call it a winter. There's a crypto, ice age or crypto apocalypse that's happening. And they are really concerned about getting more liquidity, and anything that potentially jeopardizes that liquidity needs to be dealt with.
I mean, that's definitely one argument. I don't really know for sure, but what I do know is that as somebody who's donated a tremendous amount of time to try to help people, and I'm not making any money on this. I don't, this YouTube stuff is not even monetized. We don't even have enough subscribers to make money. And if we did, we'd be pulling in like $8 a month,
Yeah.
So this is not, and believe me, I've had crypto people offer to pay me big amounts of money if I would switch sides. And I just don't want to. I don't want to be part of that. There's some things that some people that just can't be bought by money. It's not worth it to me. And, I feel a little bit demoralized because
$1 million. $1 million. You're going to become pro crypto? $1 million? Let's get our prices out there.
When after taxes, it's not that much, really.
That's fair. That's fair, guys. So you're going to so we have a perfect solution. They'll pay you in Tether.
So let me give you an example. I don't know. I guess I shouldn't. I'm not going to reveal internal correspondence, okay? Because I'm still a moderator and I'm still this, and they haven't taken any action against me, and I'm going to be respectful. If that changes, I may release a whole bunch of other information. But I still like Reddit, but I'm very disappointed. And so what we've started to do now is migrate our content off of Reddit to our website. So we might as well do a shameless plug for that, right? Because
sure, why not?
So our podcasts are up on ioradio.org. And I posted tons of stuff on Reddit when I would have discussions with people about whether Bitcoin is a Ponzi scheme.
Are you on dial-up, just out of curiosity?
I'm sorry. It could be the servers, or it could be my internet connection. So now all of these articles here, is Bitcoin a Ponzi scheme? The de facto list of blockchain claims. What if crypto was an automobile? I'm slowly migrating my Reddit posts over to this site now.
That's great.
So now, if you, I would normally reference Reddit and keep the traffic on Reddit, but now I'm no longer doing that.
Well, we can't. We literally can't.
Yeah, we literally can't.
Crypto reality.
So thank you, Reddit admins. We're going to be sending less traffic to you, more traffic to our Web 14, our new Web 14.
I thought it was Web 46. We decided on Web 46.
Web 46. Yeah, right. Web 47. You got to watch out for that one. Yeah. So anyway, I've got this is a great article I wrote where I talk about, is Bitcoin a Ponzi scheme, and I go. It's a very detailed. It goes into all kinds of definitions. This was up on Reddit, and you know what I found out? You can cut and paste Reddit's markup language into WordPress, and it automatically goes. So that's awesome. I can copy the Reddit content straight into WordPress. For you people that have Reddit content that you're worried about it getting lost when the corporatocracy takes over, you can set up a WordPress instance, run on your own server, and you can cut and paste the data, and it copies over exactly like it was in Reddit.
Hooray for markup language.
Yes. So thank you, Reddit. You know, I mean, I probably should have done this a long time ago, but I guess that's the nature when you're dealing with a corporation. I mean, Reddit doesn't offer any profit sharing revenue with the people like us.
That's why we need to get Reddit on Web3.
Yeah.
Right?
Please.
So, you know, we said Reddit was sort of seems to be sort of pro crypto. You know, we aren't making that statement out of the blue. Reddit has launched a system of avatars on the Polygon blockchain, what are NFTs. And I don't know, I think there's a general sense that some of the executives, for example, this gentleman who's the head of monetization at Reddit, I mean, he's retweeted some Web3 stuff. I mean, it doesn't really mean anything other than there just generally seems to be a positive view of crypto at Reddit. And of course,
there's no doubt they're in bed with crypto. They've got NFTs. They're doing stuff on various blockchains. They've got actual tokens and karma things. They've been trying to kind of figure out a way of monetizing their community using crypto for a while.
And if you bring up the 776 fund, which is a website and a VC firm.
Should I search on something?
Alexis, yeah, you can just Google it here. Alexis Ohanian, the founder of Reddit, and I think he left a few years ago. So he has this fund 776. And if you look at their investments, if you look at their portfolio, you click on portfolio at the top, you know, he's invested in Yuga Labs. He's invested in a bunch of crypto projects. So he was definitely pro crypto. Obviously, he has connections to Reddit. Well, not anymore. I mean, he left. Who knows what his equity is? I have no idea if he's divested or not. But there's other people like Sam Altman was on the board for 7 years. He just recently left. I think it was a year or two ago. And Sam Altman, of course, not only is he the CEO of OpenAI, but he was the founder of the WorldCoin project, which was a crypto project to harvest biometric data from people in the third world.
Oh, right. I remember that. That was really pretty horrible.
It was pretty, yeah. Well, ostensibly it was all to do good things. It was all to have, universal basic income.
Yeah. But once you collect that data, that's bad news for a lot of people.
Yeah. So there's definitely some connections to Reddit and crypto. It's just a sort of a weird thing to sort of side with these subreddits, whether it's the GME subreddits or the super stonk, or the crypto subreddits, which are all essentially just scams. But I guess they drive a lot of traffic, they drive a lot of engagement, they drive a lot of clicks, and they have a lot of eyeballs on them. So they drive revenue.
Yep.
And that's what matters.
Yep. So here we are, speaking truth to power, but when the power that we're speaking truth to doesn't like what we have to say and we're in their domain, they can fuck with us. And that's basically what they're doing. And it's going to be up to the people to decide if you want to just let it slide or not. I'm really disappointed that this has happened to Reddit and that they're doing this to us. And so there's a couple of things. We've never complained about these other communities reporting us for harassment. They harass us all the time. And we just realize the admins are super busy and they've got many things to do, and we're not going to bug them with a trivial bunch of whiny bitches over there on those other subreddits. But maybe that's our problem. Maybe we haven't done that. Maybe when those people make horrible, mean-spirited comments about us, we need to report them so that at least it looks like, hey, there's some hostility on both sides. Because we took their shit, and then now it looks like we're the fucking ones that are messing with them when we have done nothing but just try to help people. Really. Okay. Our worst thing is we might make fun and mock people. And,
yeah.
I mean, when people do stupid shit, that's what you do. I mean, probably 51% of Reddit is people going, did you see what that stupid person did? I mean, that's, if you outlaw that, there's no goddamn content.
I mean, how many, let me just bring up Reddit. Let me just see that on all.
Want me to do that? I'll bring it up.
I mean, we can, if you do like old .reddit.com/r/all and just see, let's just take a look at the front page. Like,
That's making shit about somebody.
Mildly infuriating, complaining about stuff.
Here they're complaining about an employer.
Making fun of something.
Okay.
Well, that's
Article
politics. Anti-work, always complaining about something, always posting stuff from other people.
Yeah, everything, almost everything on the page is shitting on somebody. Somebody. I mean, a girl swinging a bat at a piñata.
Haha, it's, that's cute.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Oh, poor King Henry II. Look at him shitting on him. My local Pizza Hut hasn't changed since the 80s. This is good quality content, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to have a little modem sound.
That looks like a nice Pizza Hut.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not what the 80s look like, dude. I bet you're not even old enough to know what the 80s were like. That is not the 80s.
Oh my God. Are you harassing
Tyrone
Biggums?
I might be. Oh shit. I haven't taken his name out, so now I've harassed him.
I'm the main character. That's a pure mocking subreddit.
Oh no, this is ironic. Look, Dig was the front page of the internet. They went all in on version 4. Now I was there for this. Okay,
yeah,
I was fucking there for this. And let me say something about Dig. Reddit exists because Dig fucked up big time. I was a big proponent of Dig, and the problem with Dig wasn't their new UI. The problem was they basically monetized the front page of Dig. It used to be like you see Reddit, right? Reddit, what shows up on the front page is what people upvote. Ostensibly minus the little promotional links, right?
But not even that. I mean, you can buy upvotes.
Right.
So how many? So hold on. My local Pizza Hut hasn't changed since the 80s. Here's a question. Is that just an organic post, or is this some guerrilla Pizza Hut marketing?
I don't know, but
I'll be honest with you, between you eating that pizza on stream and me seeing that post, I now want to order pizza from Pizza Hut.
It's all conspiracy. Yeah, but I didn't order pizza from Pizza Hut, by the way. I ordered it from Domino's.
Well, here's a shout out to Pizza Hut, guys. Go and get yourself a Pizza
Domino's
Hut pizza.
is better now. Domino's
is better? Okay.
Anyway, Dig basically completely mixed the editorial and advertising thing. And I remember at the time, because I had a podcast out, and they had just introduced this podcast directory that you could get your podcast listed in. And I submitted it, followed all their rules, and they wouldn't list me. And they didn't have a whole lot of podcasts on it, but they kept adding podcasts, but it wasn't my podcast. My podcast wasn't a bad podcast. It was a pretty good podcast. And I realized that I guess I had to pay somebody in order for it to show up there. And I started seeing all this other content where they were doing that. And it was like, okay, the users realized this is not our content that's showing up on the front page. So they abandoned it and went to Reddit. And that's how Reddit became popular, was when Dig completely betrayed their user base. And that is basically what Reddit is starting to do now. And,
yeah.
They haven't learned.
The API is a bit more subtle. It's not as blatant as just monetizing the front page, but it is a step in that same direction.
Yeah. And then, you know what, what I'm reminded of is this is just what happens. It's inevitable when you have a for-profit private corporation. This is why you post stuff on Facebook and you don't even know who sees it anymore, because it's in their financial interest to jumble the delivery of content based on how they can monetize it the most. Not on what makes the most sense to human beings, but what makes the most sense monetarily. So when you post something in Facebook Marketplace, even though the marketplace is huge, you have no idea who's going to see it and whether or not it's going to go in front of the right people. If you pay, you might have a better chance. This is the new reality. And it sucks. It really does suck. And I'm hoping more people will wake up to it. I got hoodwinked too. I got hoodwinked into thinking this special interest is not as evil as that special interest. But the truth is, all special interests eventually become evil with the more power they get.
Well, I think it's just there really is a fundamental difference in terms of interest. The users have a certain interest and they want to participate in communities. They want to have
And
content.
the users create the content, and the companies monetize the content. And I understand they have to make money in order to provide the infrastructure, but there's a level at which they've paid for their infrastructure and they're also making profit. And now they're just being gratuitously greedy.
Right. And so that profit motive isn't always in the interests of what the users want to use the system for. In the same way that in Bitcoin, a user who wants to use it for payment, their self-interest isn't represented in the Bitcoin system. The only thing that Bitcoin does is try to increase its value by any way possible.
Yeah, and there's nothing that crypto fixes in this situation. Crypto doesn't stop these central organizations. Reddit could just as easily be called a Web3 technology because they embrace crypto and they embody all of the problems with centralization and censorship that the crypto people complain about. But the funny thing is, if they're not employing those restrictions in their to their detriment, they will just look the other way until it is in their detriment, and then they'll be like, "Oh my God."
Yeah. So what else has been happening? There is one other thing. So we have this issue with censorship of a crypto critical community on Reddit, but there was also some big news from Binance this week.
Oh yeah, which is interesting because Binance. I'm sure that the pro crypto subreddits were really celebrating that we got sanctioned, but this, was definitely a little bit of a thing in there, a little kind of downside to it.
So Binance has been mishandling funds and lying to regulators. They've been obviously commingling funds. I mean, who would have guessed it? And it turns out there isn't that separation from Binance US and the rest of the company.
Surprise, surprise.
And what did their CEO? There was a great quote from one of their COOs. I think it was the Binance COO that said something along the lines of, "We're fucking running an unregulated securities exchange, bro, in the US." I think JRS had a great Twitter thing.
Yep. I don't have it here. You'd think the New York Times.
I think it's if you go to the Buttcoin subreddit.
Right, there's somebody posted it right up on the top of the Buttcoin subreddit. It was pretty cool. That's the one I voted where you
CO, we are operating as a fucking unlicensed security exchange in the USA, bro. Amazing.
Yep. This is it right here.
So the price of Bitcoin is down as a result. As one would expect.
Well, the world's largest crypto exchange has just been sued by the SEC.
Straight to jail.
So let me just say something to all of the crypto people out there. Not that there's anybody listening, but you know what? You guys can shut us up. You can try to shut us up. Maybe you might be successful, although you're probably not going to be. But it's going to have no impact whatsoever on the future potential of your Ponzi scheme. It will collapse, whether we're out here saying something or not. Maybe if there's less skeptics, you can carry it on a little bit longer, but it's still going to go down. And your greed is going to lead you to lose tons because none of you guys know when it was smart enough to pull out, because if you're still in, you've already made the wrong choice of when to pull out. So
we'll remember you.
This is why our community kind of makes fun of these crypto people, because instead of debating with us about, oh, blockchain really does have legitimate use cases. Here's an example. They just want to just shut us up and accuse us of harassing them. You've already lost. If you want to be mad at us, you can be mad at us. Same thing with all of the executives in these corporations that are trying to monetize crypto. It's too late now. You're gonna lose. It's way late in the game.
Well, like you've seen the investment in 2023 in crypto, right? Like it's fallen off a
Yeah,
cliff.
and
So
then
that
like
they
that
realize that
Pepe coin, right? Uh, uh, Nobody really made a whole lot of money except for the developers of that. Nobody, whoever was pumping it up, probably did not really be able to get out of that. It's all an inside job. The exchanges are in on all that shit too.
yep.
So there we have it. It's been a rough week. You know, we're getting crap from both sides, and I take it more personally probably than I should, and that's my problem.
Well,
But
hey, I appreciate the work that you do.
you know, um, there's days when I'm
And
like,
and,
you know,
and
why
so do
why do I even care? Why do I even try?
you got to fight the good fight.
Okay,
Is that it?
that's it for me. I think I've pretty much done myself here.
All right. Thanks for listening, everyone, to our amazing, incredible 4 listeners. We appreciate you.
Thank you.